We're at Finley Stadium. Randy Smith and Ted Byrne with you for Georgia Southern and Chattanooga. Chaz Williams with the keeper on a third down at about a foot. He's got the first down. It'll be 1st and 10, Georgia Southern at their own 36, maybe the 37-yard line.
And the Eagles keep the chains moving. Have another first down, a touchdown, as well as a safety has led to the scoring for Georgia Southern in this one. Jermaine Austin scored on a 1-yard run. The conversion was good by Jonathan Dudley, and then the safety is the punt. Snap went over the Chattanooga punter's head.
Jermaine Austin up the middle. Nobody's going to catch him. How did he get out of that line so quickly? Georgia Southern just explodes into the end zone, and now it's a 15-0 Georgia Southern lead over Chattanooga. Man, did he ever hit that hole quickly.
Off of right guard, wide open. They just split everybody to the inside and outside, and it's off to the races. He needs 90 yards coming into this game to reach 3,000 for his career at Georgia Southern.
Well, he got over half of it right there.
Right there. Not a bad carry.
About 63 yards on that carry. 15-0. The kick by Jonathan Dudley is good. And with 3:46 to go in the first quarter, Georgia Southern has a 16-0 lead over Chattanooga. Here's another look.
Austin now with 73 yards rushing in the game. They just sealed off that hole so beautifully. Looked like brick masons up there on that offensive line, and he was just off to the races.
63 yards on the carry for Jermaine Austin, who may be getting very, very close to that 90-yard he had to get 3,000 for his career.
76 yards thus far, or 74 yards in the game so far.
74-yard drive, 4 plays, a minute 12. Not going to do a lot for your clock possession game, but as far as the scoreboard, they're beginning to light it up on the right side.
The Eagles have that big play capability, and it is that offense that keeps defenses off balance. It's tough to prepare when you're getting ready to play this Georgia Southern offense because many scout teams, A, aren't familiar enough with the offense, and B, can't simulate the speed that this Georgia Southern team has this year.
Georgia Southern will kick off for the second time today. They received the opening kickoff and drove it right down the Mocs' throats for a touchdown.
Chattanooga forced to punt the ball, and the ball went sailing back into the end zone for a safety. And then you saw Jermaine Austin's run there, and that's where we are right now. 16-0.
Michael Gilmore, Levante Barber, and this is going to be Gilmore backing up out of his end zone. Tremendous kick that time with the wind by Georgia Southern. So the Mocs will put it in play. First down and 10 from their own 20-yard line, and we have 3:46 to go in the first quarter. Georgia Southern with a 16-0 lead.
Haven't even gotten good and settled into your popcorn and Coke in the stands here, and quickly Georgia Southern striking as they have.
Cedric Stevens still at quarterback for Chattanooga. LaRonnie Davis the running back. Here's Stevens dropping back, throwing, caught by Gilmore at the 25, picks up another yard or two before he is horse-collared out of bounds. Gain of about 6, maybe 7 yards by Gilmore, who caught his third pass of the day for the Mocs.
Cedric with good technique on this one. Gets squared to the receiver, lets it go. Not too hard, not too high, perfect reception.
5 white shirts around him.
The defense is swarming.
They gave him an 8-yard pickup, so it's second down about 1.5 yards, maybe 1. Cedric Stevens hands it to LaRonnie Davis, who gets the first down, stays on his feet, crossing the 30. Stopped by A.J. Bryant, so it's a first down for the Mocs as they get their third first down of the game.
Good job on the run to the outside. And the offensive line, you can't fault the Mocs offensive line. They've been doing everything they've been asked to do.
Mocs again going without a huddle. 3 receivers to the left side for Chattanooga. Emmanuel Hassel, Alonzo Nix, and Michael Gilmore to the left side. The lone setback with Stevens is Leronnie Davis. Stevens keeping it. Still on his feet. Crosses the line of scrimmage, the 35, and picks up about 3 before Georgia Southern stops him.
And as that play was starting to develop, you saw that defense of Georgia Southern up and back, moving in and out. And that is the thing that they are doing more of this year than they ever have. And they're jumping around trying to make you wonder who you're going to block.
Stevens rolling right, throws it. It's caught at the 40. It's going to be shy of a first down. Now they say it's incomplete, intended for the receiver, Tyrus Ward.
Ward did a great job of lunging after that ball. You know, when East Tennessee State did away with football, those guys had to go somewhere, and Chattanooga was good enough to get a few of those players from.
Yeah, Tyrus Ward played right here at Brainerd High School in Chattanooga. It's 3rd and about 6 for the Mocs as the line of scrimmage is the 38.5-yard line. Big 3rd down play for UTC with just over 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Cedric Stevens taking his time. 3 receivers to the right side. There's the pump fake over the middle. Pass is incomplete but picked up. And Stevens' pass was just too low.
They had the perfect screen, though, set up to the left side. And Stevens did a great job, Cedric, of selling that fake to the right side and then turning to throw the screen to the left.
4th down and about 6 for the Mocs. Line of scrimmage of the Chattanooga 39-yard line. Jonathan Wright will punt. Good snap. Gets it away. End over ending its way down. Taking a Chattanooga bounce. It's going to bounce inside the 25 and roll to the 22. And that's where Georgia Southern puts it in play. First down and 10 from the 22-yard line.
First time they've had bad field position, if you can call that. A bad field position. A 39-yard punt puts them right there. So Georgia Southern going to have to go 78 yards now and see if they can get another score. The Mock defense trying to figure out that spread offense.
1:52 to go in the first quarter. Georgia Southern with a 16-0 lead with a couple of touchdowns, couple of extra points, and a safety thrown in for good measure. To the left side comes P.J. Cantrell for Georgia Southern. The Mocs putting some linebackers in the slot. They give it to Jermaine Austin. He breaks free again. He's at the midfield stripe. Finally dropped down near the 50-yard line by one of the defensive backs. That's number 22 for the Mocs.
We've talked about the Chattanooga offensive line. Look at the hole here. Boom, just wide open, and here he comes. Heard those footsteps. Got caught from behind. Again, a great job there on the offensive line. The man that threw the big block that opened that hole was Travis Sims.
First down, Georgia Southern. They're at their own 49-yard line. Williams again. This time he stopped at the line of scrimmage. Great play defensively. Donis Bucci, making the tackle as he stood him up at the line of scrimmage.
When you look at Chattanooga's defense and you look for one of their strong points, Donis Bucci is definitely the guy that you keep an eye on, and you need to know where he is on the field at all times. Great job standing him up, and another good job there by the defense in knocking him down and plugging that hole. Ryan Coggins kind of clogged up the hole for Bucci to make the tackle.
Tim Gersich, the running back that carried the ball that time for Georgia Southern. He's in there again. The pitch back. They're going to throw it on the halfback option. The pass is incomplete. In and out of the hands of number 26, who was wide open, Marquise Maynard, the freshman, 5'8", one of the slot backs. And it'll be 3rd down and about 9.
Looked like that ball hit him in the face mask and caromed off of him. It was wide open. It wasn't a particularly well thrown ball, but it was on the mark, just a little bit high in his face.
Pass was thrown by Reggie McCutcheon, I believe, who threw that ball, wasn't it?
I believe it was.
Chaz Williams fakes, has plenty of time, caught over the middle. First down, Georgia Southern inside the 35, down to the Mock 33-yard line.
Marquise Maynard, or excuse me, T.J. Anderson on the catch, the slot back.
Jimmy Mitchell makes the stop for Chattanooga as we take another look. Plenty of time.
Open over the middle. Got rid of one tackle, but then got bookend.
Chaz Williams, the keep, the give back to the running back. 2 men missing. Number 31, that's Lennon Jefferson, or Lynon Jefferson. Out of bounds at the 7-yard line. Wes Tankersley makes the tackle. It's 1st and goal, Georgia Southern. And with 6 seconds to go, they might score again before the end of the quarter.
Randy, we've talked about Chattanooga's youth, but here's a redshirt freshman who does a great job of getting a kind of an awkward pitch and then turning it up the field, running right off of the tail of the blocker to get a couple of extra yards. Georgia Southern's running backs are so deep they can go as deep as 4 backs. A 24-yard gain on that run.
That's the end of the first quarter. Georgia Southern knocking on the door. 1st and goal from the 8-yard line. The Eagles lead it 16-zip. We'll be back after this. By Food Line, extra low prices. And by BB&T, you can tell we want your business. And welcome once again to Finley Stadium. Randy Smith, Ted Byrne with you here where Georgia Southern, as we start the second quarter, knocking on the door again, leading 16-0 over Chattanooga. Williams on the keeper. Inside the 5, dives to the 3. It'll be 2nd down and goal.
Chaz can hurt you with the pass, but he can nail you with the running touchdown as well. This game means an awful lot to him because it was against Chattanooga last year that he got knocked down and cost him really the rest of the season. And he said this game was personally a goal for him. He really wanted to come and prove something.
It's at the 4. It'll be 2nd down and goal from there. Williams keeps it himself and goes untouched into the end zone. 4-yard run for Chaz Williams, and it's 22-0 in favor of Georgia Southern.
The offensive line opening the hole. Williams with a good running ability right off of Tim Gertz's block and then into the end zone. Gertz, the transfer from Navy.
Georgia Southern going for the extra point to make it 23-0. Jonathan Dudley gets it in the air, and it is through there. 23-0 Georgia Southern with the lead. There's Chaz Williams getting a breather. He's done a good job directing this Georgia Southern offense, but he's one of the top quarterbacks in the Southern Conference, no question. Outdoor enthusiasts know that the biggest catch of the day can be made from the comfort of your couch. Don't miss hours of exciting hunting and fishing programming tomorrow morning right here on CSS. Go through the woods on a big game hunt and down to the lake for some freshwater fishing without ever leaving home on CSS tomorrow. Fishing's good down in Statesboro, isn't it?
It's not too bad. There's some lakes around there that have a few big old catfish in it.
7 plays, 78 yards, 2.5 minutes. Georgia Southern Eagles with a 23-0 lead. So the Mocs need to get something going offensively and keep the ball out of the hands of Chaz Williams.
Trey Hunter there. He came off the bench in this game last year, had 3 touchdowns, 147 yards passing, rushed for 64 yards. I have a feeling we might see him before this afternoon is over with.
I would imagine the Mocs might put Antonio Miller in to start this half. I don't know. Cedric Stevens is still out on the side of the field talking with Coach Rodney Allison. Mocs are going to receive the kick from Georgia Southern. Jonathan Dudley's going to kick it off, and this one against the wind this time is going to be fielded 1 yard into the end zone. Michael Gilmore on his feet. Crosses the 20-yard line, and the Mocs will put it in play at their own 23.
Not great field position, but about 3 yards up from where they've been getting it, as Georgia Southern's been kicking, and their wind has been to their back, and the ball has been into the end zone every time they've kicked it off. And again, going out to try to jumpstart this team, Cedric Stevens.
Stevens in at quarterback once again for Chattanooga. The lone running back is Leronnie Davis. (14-15) early second quarter. Davis gets the handoff. Loose football. Big pileup. Let's see. It'll be second down. Loss of a couple of yards. John Mooring makes the big hit for Georgia Southern.
John has been a good one as he flies around that football. There's the handoff and right into the arms of the defense. Not much running room there. And then again, all those white shirts.
Second down and 10. No gain for Chattanooga. Cedric Stevens calling the play. Back to throw. Throws it down the right side. It's caught very close to a first down by number 16 for the Mocs. That's Tyrus Ward. Shannon Higdon pushes him out of bounds. Good gain. It's going to be real close to a first down. In fact, they're going to check it right here.
Ward happens to be one of the favorite targets for Stevens. Ball slightly deflected, but he made a good catch on it. It's funny how some quarterbacks like one particular receiver. They have more confidence in their ability to catch the ball sometimes than others.
Third down and 1. Cedric Stevens lost the football. I believe Chattanooga may have gotten it back. If they did, they got the first down.
Georgia Southern pointing one way, the officials pointing the other way.
One of the big linemen jumped on it.
The ball was fumbled. Recovered.
Georgia Southern with a little blitz right there into the hole, and that's what created the chaos and caused the ball to pop loose.
Josh Gooden, the 6'2", 300-pound senior center who has been a real force on this offensive line since he started 4 years ago. Let's take another look.
On defense, jumping in there, John Mooring. He was jumping up in that hole about the time the ball was snapped.
First down and 10 at the 37. The draw play, the delay. Straight ahead to Leronnie Davis crossing the 40-yard line. Deshaun Jude makes the tackle, but not before Davis picks up about 3, maybe 4 yards. They'll mark it just past the 40-yard line. It's second down and 6.
The Mocs having to work for every inch of turf that they're getting here today. This time not running out of a shotgun.
The receivers swap sides. The pitch left. Leronnie Davis following the blockers inside the 40 down to about the 46-yard line. Lewis Barr makes the tackle for Georgia Southern. Pickup of about 3 more.
Ronnie Davis showing some smarts on that run and saw the hole close up, but there was just a little seam there and he just sort of dove through it to get a couple extra yards. Back to the shotgun this time.
Third down, about 3.5 for UT Chattanooga. Cedric Stevens back to throw. Lobs it on the right side. Incomplete. Pass in and out of the hands of the intended receiver for Chattanooga, Eugene Kuzert. And A.J. Bryant was there to defend for Georgia Southern. So it's 4th down and 3, and the Mocs will have to punt it away.
Georgia Southern was attempting a blitz from the outside corner, and it almost played right in to the Mocs' plan on that play, but the ball just a little bit high, unable to be caught.
Jonathan Wright will stand just inside his 30 to punt it away. Georgia Southern trying to get a return on. Good kick, fair catch signal for and made by Georgia Southern.
Teddy Kraft with the catch there and a good fair catch.
And with 11:45 left in the first half, Georgia Southern leads it 23-0. As you look at the beautiful scenery from Finley Stadium, you can get your NFL fix tomorrow on CSS with Pro Football Weekly. Get exclusive insider information, news reports, and in-depth analysis on all of the day's biggest NFL matchups. Pro Football Weekly editor Hub Arkush joins NFL Hall of Famer Dan Hampton and radio and TV personality Tom Waddle tomorrow at 11:30 Eastern on CSS. Georgia Southern puts it in play, first down at the Eagles' 18-yard line. Worst field position of the day for Georgia Southern. Long count. Williams inside handoff. Jermaine Austin crosses the 20. Picked up about 3 before Ryan Coggins. 6'2", 331 makes the tackle for Chattanooga.
Coggins having a good game. He's swarming. He's got a great nose for the football here so far for the Mocs defense. Austin just straight ahead. He seems to be okay after that ankle injury a couple of weeks ago.
Second down, about 8 for Georgia Southern, just past the 20-yard line. Chaz Williams going deep. Got a man down here. It's going to be incomplete. Great defensive coverage that time for Chattanooga by Greg McConico as he was defending Jason Foster for Georgia Southern.
Covering him like a tan, and Foster was trying to get to the outside. The ball was thrown to the inside, and the defender did a great job of keeping him away from it. There you go. Can't ask for better defense than that.
Third down and 8 for Georgia Southern. So the Mocs one play away from stopping them for the second time in the first half.
That's something not many people have done in 3
That's
games.
Right. They had 41 offensive series. They've been stopped 3 times coming into this game. That is unbelievable, even against Georgia.
Exactly.
Chaz Williams dropping back. Third down and 8. Pressure on. Ball thrown up in the air. It's going to be incomplete. 2 men down there, 2 receivers for Chattanooga, and the Mocs, number 97, Charles Prophet, put a lick on Chaz Williams just as he unloaded that football.
In fact, his helmet popped off, but Anderson and Kraft kind of ran together on this one. Might have bumped each other off the ball. 2 receivers, 1 defender, and right there they kind of got greedy. I got it, you get it. No, it's incomplete.
Dan Jordan will punt it. He'll stand inside his 10-yard line. So unless something awful happens for the Mocs, they should get good field position out of this. High, very high, long kick. Backing up. Tyrone Baisden to the 25. Still on his feet out to the 34. And a penalty marker down. Georgia Southern's going to be charged with hitting a little bit late. That was Tyrus Ward. We'll see what this one's all about. Deshaun Jude making the hit on a 54-yard punt with no wind.
With the return and the penalty, this will be by far the best field position for Chattanooga.
We'll see what the penalty is going to be about.
During the return, personal foul, grabbing the face mask on the kicking team, number 45. 15 yards will be added on to the end of the run. Chattanooga's ball, first down.
Do you like the fact that the college referees are now announcing the number of the player that made the foul?
Yeah, I'm not playing, so I'm not the one embarrassed, but a lot of players aren't liking it because now everybody knows exactly who it was. Of course, they've done that in the NFL for years.
Good field position for the Mocs. They'll put it in play at their own 45-yard line.
He doesn't like it.
Nope.
He doesn't like the fact that there was a penalty, much less the number being called out.
Well, we're still discussing where to put the football. Now we're marking it off, and they'll put it at the 49-yard line. And with that, we're going to take a timeout. With 10:46 left in the first half, Georgia Southern leads it 23-0. You're watching college football on CSS. Sports Night's Army of Experts will visit the crew this week to bring you the inside news on the NASCAR chase for the Nextel Cup, plus all things football with updates on recruiting, college matchups, and the NFL season. Catch Sports Night live each weekday at 6 Eastern with an encore presentation at 11 only on CSS, your source for Southeastern sports. First down at 10. The Mocs have the football at their own 49-yard line as they put it in play, down 23-0 with 10:46 to go here in the first half. Mocs desperately need to get some points on the board now before the game gets completely out of hand. Cedric Stevens out of the shotgun. There's the fake. Plenty of time. Throwing it long downfield. Got a man there, incomplete. Intended for Michael Gilmore. And back deep to defend for Georgia Southern was number 13. That's A.J. Bryant.
Good defense on the play. Cedric Stevens. I know he's not happy with the way his day is going, and sometimes the harder you try, the worse it gets.
Second down and 10 from the 49-yard line. The Mocs receivers switch sides, wide to the right side now for Chattanooga. It's Emmanuel Hassel, number 80. Sweep left. Lorani Davis still on his feet. First down inside the 40-yard line. They say he went out of bounds at the 38. Tariq Muhammad pushes him out for Georgia Southern, but not before the Mocs get a first down.
Alonzo Nix makes a superb block on this play right out of the screen where you couldn't see it, but that's what enabled him to make it on the corner. You'll see it right there as he knocks him outside, and that's good for another 10 yards. Great block there by Alonzo.
Gilmore, another pass completion from Cedric Stevens, very close to another first down. Georgia Southern pushes him out of bounds inside the 30. It's a gain of maybe 9. Fernando Phillips on the play for the Eagles.
Best back-to-back series of plays that Chattanooga's had thus far.
Mocs down 23-zip, 10:27. A lot of time to go here in the first half. Cedric Stevens now audibling the play at the 31-yard line.
Eagle defense really creating some havoc for Stevens.
Stevens on the option. First down. Stevens inside the 25, down to the 22, and the Mocs get a first down.
Josh Gooden, the center, sealed on a block that allowed him to get out there. Number 62, the center, right there, made one block and then seals right there and enables him to make it to the outside. The nose tackle, Eric McIntyre, was the one that was sealed off by Gooden. Did a great job there.
Mocs have it first down as they've made 2 first downs in their last 3 plays. Just over 10 minutes to go in the first half. Cedric Stevens, no huddle offense for Chattanooga. They bring it to the line of scrimmage, the 22. Stevens lost the football on the handoff to Davis. I think he got it back. I believe he did. Right close to that line of scrimmage is where he recovered the fumble.
There's the handoff, and he just never really got it. Stevens just never put it where he felt comfortable in hanging on to it. Eugene just right there. He got it up kind of at the base of the shoulder pads where they end and your stomach begins, your abdomen begins. It kind of right there, and he never really got a good handle on it.
Loss of 2, they say, back to the 24-yard line. It'll be second down and 12. Stevens out of the shotgun with the snap. Good protection. Now he's got a wide open slot up the middle. He takes it inside the 15. He has another first down for Chattanooga. Cedric Stevens, who is a very good athlete, runs the football very well, and he saw a huge opening that time.
Good composure and good headiness here by Stevens. He sees that the defense is spread wide open, and he can get about 15, 20 yards on the play. Right up the middle.
We have a Georgia Southern player down on the field, so with a medical timeout, Rico Zachary finally made the tackle for Georgia Southern a moment ago. And in fact, he's the one down on the field.
And they roll him over. Good news is he's moving around, so hopefully he's not too badly injured. They'll be able to get him off to the sidelines and get him back in the game.
23-0 Georgia Southern with the lead. We invite you to turn to CSS throughout this college football season for extensive coverage of the ACC. 2 of the top-rated football conferences in the country. Catch 8 football replays each week to check out your favorite team and preview the competition. It's all on CSS, your source for Southeast sports. Well, it's at the 13-yard line, so theoretically the Mocs could pick up another first down before they punch it in the end zone.
It is possible.
Actually, they're going to measure it to see if he indeed made the first down. Nope, going to be short by about a foot, so it'll be second down and about a foot at the 13-yard line.
Well, for the positive side of the Mocs, they've got a couple of downs to play with. Definitely they are in 4-down territory there as the ball just about at the 12. First big test for the defense of Georgia Southern in the game so far today.
Cedric Stevens in at quarterback. He's gone all the way. There's Coach Rodney Allison. His team down 23-0, but it's early and they are moving. They've made 3 first downs on this drive. This would be their 4th if they get it. Stevens carries it himself. I believe he's got the first down.
Lined up in the old victory formation, the kind of formation that you normally do when you're going to take a knee. But straight ahead on the QB keep, and it is a first down.
They'll mark it at the 12, and that's where the Mocs put it in play, first down. And once again, they have a chance to get another first down before they get in the end zone. The Mocs have been intent and really wanted to run the football all season. They've got almost 80 yards rushing. That's about their average. And we still have 8:41 to go in the first half. Cedric Stevens with a fake play action, gets away from one man and takes the sack back at the 17-yard line.
No getting away from Jason Earwood, the weak side linebacker. 6'2", 2 1/4. He comes through pretty easily there on the left-hand side of your screen. Nobody really got him, and it's like the rodeos in town.
Loss of 6. It'll be second down rather, and they'll mark it back to the 17-yard line. Well, one thing Cedric Stevens learned from that early interception he threw, not to just throw it up in the air. He took the sack.
And that was smart. Sometimes the sack is the good thing to do.
Cedric Stevens out of the shotgun. 2 backs back there with him. 2 receivers left, 1 right, and somebody jumped.
Delay a game. Number 7. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Mocs are going in the opposite direction. We move it back to the 22. It'll be second down now. And 21.
Coach Allison saying stay focused, stay concentrated. Mental mistakes hurting the Mocs here on their best drive of the game.
Cedric Stevens now with 1 lone setback with him. That's Lorani Davis. Stevens throws it over the middle. Nobody there. Well defended. And it'll be third down and 21.
But Stevens with ice water in his veins as he stood in that pocket with white shirts just coming at him like a locomotive.
So the Mocs now faced with a third down and 21 as we take another look at the pass. And again, tremendous pressure by the Eagles.
He's just standing right there, never moving, still waiting for somebody to get open, and he's got white shirts all around him, about 5 of them.
Big play for the Mocs right here and for Georgia Southern. Third down and 21. Stevens back to throw, still on his feet. Looking to throw, throws it up in the air. It's out of bounds, incomplete. And that'll be fourth down, and the line of scrimmage is the 22-yard line. So
there's no foul for intentional grounding. The quarterback was out of the tackle box, and the ball crossed the line of scrimmage. Fourth down.
Flushed out of the pocket toward the sideline, the far sideline over by the Georgia Southern bench, and he just had to let it go. If the receiver had kept his block instead of trying to get open, he might have been able to run it for a few more yards.
39-yard field goal upcoming for the Mocs as Jonathan Godfrey, number 10, will attempt the field goal.
He's kicking out of a sandy area on the field there. Footing is very tough here.
Got it away. It is long enough. It is good. And the Mocs are on the board with 7:11 to go in the first half. 23-3 now your score. With 7:11 left in the first half, you're watching college football on CSS, your source for Southeast sports. 23-3 now as UT Chattanooga's on the board with 7:11 to go, and they got it on this field goal by Jonathan Godfrey.
And it just is true and blue right through the uprights.
39 yards away, and the Mocs will kick off to Georgia Southern for the second time today. They kicked off to start the game. Kick end over ending its way down, finally taken at the 2-yard line. Wait a minute, he hit a knee. He thought he was in the end zone. That was the return man for Georgia Southern. That's number 2, Lewis Barr.
Caught the ball and took a knee. He is downed at the 3-yard line. First down.
11 plays, 29 yards for the Mocs, and the field goal by Godfrey, 39 yards. They actually had gained about 40, and they had a couple of penalties, or actually a penalty and a sack, which cost them about 15 yards.
That's a kickoff return that'll be watched in the film room, and I'm sure when Lewis came off the field, Mike Seawalk probably had a 3-letter word for him. Why?
So terrible field position for Georgia Southern. They're at their own 3-yard line. Chaz Williams with the keeper out to the 5, to the 7. Whole host of Mocs. Ryan Coggins, number 99, there to greet him.
Williams has come back in good shape. Those legs are strong after the injury last year in Statesboro against Chattanooga, as he showed there, dragging a tackler or two with him.
Second down, about 7. Line of scrimmage at the 6. Inside handoff, Jermaine Austin busts another one. He's at the 30. I don't think anybody can catch him. Now the Mocs are going to horse collar him down at the 30-yard line. Randy Kraft catches him from behind after he burst up the middle. And that's the same play that he scored on a 67-yard drive earlier.
Right there between the right guard and tackle. That's Chad Mote and Paul Collins opening up the hole as Austin goes down the freeway until he's caught from behind. Nice speed by the defender to catch him running down from behind. Just in the first half, Austin with 167 yards on 8 carries, 2 touchdowns, and he only needed 90 yards coming in this game to get over 3,000 for his career. He reached that in the first quarter.
He's just a junior.
Oh, he's just a baby. They're loving that he might be around. He may not be the runner that Adrian Peterson, who brought such fame to Georgia Southern, is, but he's pretty close to AP's kind of determined, straight ahead running, and he's got great balance, and he's got strong legs, just a real heady runner.
Second down after a no gain for Georgia Southern. It's at the 29 in the first half, still with 5:26 to go. 238 yards to 73. And the Mocs have this one snowed at the 28-yard line. The running back was number 36 for Georgia Southern, Kevin Davis. And Donis Bucci from his linebacker position makes the tackle.
That's what we've said about Bucci all day long. He is everywhere on that field. He's going to sleep good tonight. Coming over and making the run down and chasing him to the sidelines.
Third down, Georgia Southern at the 29 of Chattanooga. Eagles with a 23-3 lead. Chaz Williams inside handoff to the fullback. That's Tim Gersich. Tim Powers makes the tackle from his Eagle position on the Mocs defense. And it'll be fourth down for the Eagles in about 5.
Left guard Travis Sims made a great block to get Gertz open. He transferred to Georgia Southern from Navy. Great young man. Loves playing at Georgia Southern.
If the Eagles want to kick a field goal here, it would be 42 yards. So with fourth down and 5, they're going to go for it.
It would be into the win, and since they are doing so well on the fourth down conversions.
Now they call time to talk about it.
Georgia Southern.
4:42 to go here in the first half. 23-3, the Eagles with the lead over the Mocs, and we can tell you the Troy State Trojans have already put up big wins over Marshall and Missouri to start the 2004 season. But can they defeat Sunbelt foe Utah State? That's a triple header of live college football Saturday on CSS. The Big Ten game of the week kicks off live at noon Eastern, followed by Troy State's battle against Utah State at 3:30. Then the UAB Blazers travel to Cincinnati to play the Bearcats at 7. Catch it on CSS, your source for Southeast sports.
Troy State's had that success. Now they've got all the 1AA schools saying, hey, maybe we ought to go to Division 1A. Troy State's winning.
Troy State was very, very good as a 1AA team.
Yes, they were.
And before that, a Division II program as well.
And they play in an absolutely gorgeous facility, as the viewers will see next week.
It's at the 25-yard line. Wide to the left side for Georgia Southern. That's Reggie McCutcheon. 4th down and 5. Big play for both teams.
They're going to try to get somebody to jump off sides.
And they jump.
And it might be movement on Georgia Southern.
Chad Moat.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense number 71. 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
Georgia Southern's right guard, Chad Moat, jumping right here. Yep, just a flinch, but it was enough.
Eagles had this play, and that was it, where they just kind of sit and wait, and they try to get the defense to jump. They ran that play or same kind of formation at Georgia, only they actually ran a play and caught Georgia's defense back on their heels.
4th down and 10. Chaz Williams back to throw over the middle, caught at the 5, and it's a 1st down and goal for Georgia Southern.
P.J. Cantrell with a catch. How's that for confidence in your offense? Looked like they might try a field goal, and then he says no. He calls timeout, and then in spite of the penalty, still able to find the receiver, thread the needle, and make the catch for the 1st down.
Now Georgia Southern 8 of 8 in 4th down conversions, 2 of them in this game in the 1st half.
The Mocs on a nice drive. Penalties pushed them back. They have to settle for a field goal. Georgia Southern on a drive commits a penalty. They still get the 1st down.
Inside handoff. Touchdown Georgia Southern. That's Tim Gersich, number 35, and it's a 6-yard run, and it's 29-3 Eagles. And this drive, folks, started at their own 2.5.
Some pretty good talent packed into that 5'8", 211 frame right there. Look at the way he's cradling that ball, protecting it from the wandering hands of the defense of Chattanooga, hanging on to it right across the goal line for the touch.
Trying to make it 30-3 Georgia Southern. And they do. Penalty marker on the play as Jonathan Dudley puts it right through there. If it's against Chattanooga, they'll decline it, and it'll be 30-3. We'll see.
Last week, Georgia Southern jumped out to a quick 38-0 halftime lead over the defending Southern Conference champion Wofford Terriers last week, and everybody was going, whoa, wait, what's going on? And again, this offense can score quickly.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both on number 25 for Chattanooga. Offsides, number 25. Running into the kicker, number 25. Penalties are declined. Extra point is good.
That's Wilford Blow, number 25, who got caught with 2 penalties right there, but they didn't count either one of them.
Ran into the kicker there, coming from the left side.
That's Jason Jones, number 21. It's not Wilford Blow. Right.
See, and sometimes when the official calls out the number, it's the wrong number, and the wrong guy gets embarrassed. But then we can play the replay and show the right guy get
embarrassed. Oh, yeah. 7 plays, 97 yards, 249 for Georgia Southern, as they now lead it 30-3 with 4:13 to go here in the 1st half. It has not been a good day for Chattanooga. Rodney Allison, who is already on the day, thrown his clipboard about 10 feet, stomped, probably said a word or two he regrets saying.
Probably feeling a lot like that Linda Ronstadt song, When Will I Be Loved?
Well, his team is really struggling. Very young team, inexperienced, but
doing what he has to do to stay calm and get them into the locker room and say, all right, guys, we made some good things happen out there. Had some good defensive stops, had some good offensive plays. Now let's try to put them together in succession. Really, one drive that ended up in the field goal was the most consistent drive that Chattanooga's had all day.
You know, you got to think that eventually playing from behind this far has to have an effect on your offense, even though they've played pretty well.
It certainly chips away at your confidence.
Georgia Southern's kicking it off, and back deep to receive for Chattanooga. Michael Gilmore will take the high kick at the goal line. Gilmore to the left side. Could not turn the corner. He stopped at the 18, and a penalty marker on the play for Georgia Southern. Roger King makes the tackle, but we'll see what the laundry is about.
Late flag.
Block in the back against Chattanooga.
You just kept thinking as you watched that if he could just turn that corner, there was some serious return right there. just trying to get to the outside, and there, that one hand.
Blocking the back's going to put it back at the 11.
Number
Here it
27, half the distance from the spot of the foul. Chattanooga ball.
Great tackle there. If he doesn't get that one hand and spin him off of course, he's coming down the near sideline for some serious real estate. Mox with not very good field position again.
Cedric Stevens, the quarterback. He's gone all the way for UTC. Out of his end zone, dumps it over the middle to the tight end. Good yardage out to the 13-yard line for Chattanooga. That's Barrett Brightwell. Derek Butler makes the tackle for the Eagles.
And just when maybe some fans might be wanting to give up on Stevens, Cedric shows good thought process there, stays calm in his own end zone, waits for somebody to come open, dumps it to him, and turns the play into a positive.
2nd down and 2. Pickup of 8 on the last pass play. Corner blitz coming inside the handoff. Ronnie Davis to the 15. Gets close to the first down. We'll see if he gets it. Derek Butler again from his linebacker spot makes the tackle for Georgia Southern.
The defense of Georgia Southern gambling on a few of those blitzes. They had one from the outside earlier, and if the pass had been a little bit lower, it would have really burned them on the blitz. One of these plays coming up, Chattanooga is going to catch Georgia Southern in one of those blitzes, and it's going to break it for big yards.
They're going to measure it. He needed about 2, and he got about 1 yard and 5/6.
That close.
That close.
Man, who's your optometrist? I got to go see him.
Well, that's just a guess.
Oh, okay.
Just an educated guess.
I thought you were right on the money.
No, got the first down. He actually got the 2 yards he needed, I think.
Yes,
he did.
Sir.
First down, Chattanooga at the 16-yard line. So the Mocs coming to the line now with 3:05 to go here in the first half, trailing 30-3.
Stevens is looking into some serious sun. You can see the shadows cast by the offense there.
Stevens back to throw. Dumps it over the middle. Caught by Alonzo Nix to the 20. Picked up 5, maybe 6 yards.
The offense doing a good job of spreading out that Georgia Southern defense and finding that little dump route right there over the middle.
Jason Earwood makes the tackle after the gain of about 5. It'll be 2nd down from the 20. Clock moving, 2:25 to go. First half. Stevens caught by Nix at the 25, close to the 25. He's going to be shy of the first down by about 1 yard. Pick up a 4.
The good thing is Stevens is now starting to connect with his receivers. He's on the money. He's got the nose of that football down now, and his throw has been much more accurate here in the second quarter.
Pick up a 4. It'll be 3rd and 1 for Chattanooga as we go under the 2-minute mark here in the first half. Lone setback back there with Stevens on a 3rd and 1 out of the shotgun. There's the give to Ronnie Davis, and absolutely nothing going right there. It's going to be 4th down and about 3. And Georgia Southern is going to get the football back with about 1 minute to go.
And they were walking people up. Derek Butler was walking up to kind of clog up that middle right there. Butler got an arm on him first.
Georgia Southern, second charge of the first half.
Again, you see where Eric White came in there. Derek Butler got the arm on him. Eric White came in to finish the deal.
So it's 4th down and about 2.
Teddy Kraft dropping back to receive this punt.
Georgia Southern wants to knock down one more touchdown before the end of the half.
Got the wind behind him, and he had a good kick the last time.
Mox will punt. Jonathan Wright's going to stand at his own 10. He'll kick with a pretty stiff breeze at his back. Well, they must think we're in a break because they're waiting.
They were just standing around, working on the tan.
Now we're ready. Wright's going to stand at the 10. He'll punt it away with 1:30 to go. Low kick, fielded by Georgia Southern at the 40. And they wrap him up at midfield for Georgia Southern back to return that time.
Teddy Kraft on the return.
Teddy Kraft, not Lewis Farr. I was looking at Lewis Farr, but it was Teddy Kraft. Kraft with the return, a 37-yard kick with the win that time by Jonathan Wright. So with 1:20 to go, Georgia Southern with the football in Chattanooga territory. The line of scrimmage is the mock 49-yard line.
And the Eagles have really only had one possession with horrible field position, and that was due to themselves when the man thought he was in the end zone and downed it on the 2.
Chaz Williams back to throw, incomplete. Intended for Kevin Davis.
Some heavy pressure being applied there by the mock defense, causing him to throw that ball away a little early. Mike Seawalk has to be happy with the way his team has performed here in the first half.
Well, actually, it's 1:13 to go. Chaz Williams back to throw, rolling left, throwing, caught. Great catch. Number 19 for Georgia Southern, P.J. Cantrell, hauls it in. There's a mock down on the play, and it's at the 23-yard line for a Georgia Southern first down.
Cantrell measures 6'2", but I think he was about 6'8" on this one. Look at that. Fingertips, good control. Batted it, hung on to it. Those gloves really work. 24-yard reception. Good blocking there. Williams gets outside, lets it go between 2 defenders. Can't ask for a better thrown pass than that. Mox with an injured player. Georgia Southern leading 30-3, Randy, and it's just been one of those days where the harder the Mocs try, it seems the more that goes wrong.
Well, that's a mark of a young football team.
Exactly.
Rodney Allison knows that better days are ahead for this team. He'd just like to have one of them now.
Yeah, today would be a good day to start that. Mocs looking at their injured player, still down on the turf, Greg McConaughey.
Right.
He's a junior, 6 foot 183. Looking at that right leg. Yeah, it looks like an ACL the way they're working on it there. Certainly we're not doctors, but they're going to get him up and get him moving. That's good. That's a good sign to see that. Folks in Greenville, Alabama, breathing a little easier now. He wants to stay in. You got to love that.
But he's got to come out.
Got to come out because of the injury. So he'll trot off now. Probably heard something pop inside that knee, and he's good to go now. He's on the sidelines flexing it. He's fine.
Probably was afraid to move.
Yeah.
1:06 to go. First down, Georgia Southern. The line of scrimmage, the Chattanooga 22-yard line. Chaz Williams with the lone running back. Back there with him, that's Tim Gersitz. Man in motion is Davis. There's a quick pitch to him. The Mocs have it covered, but not before Davis gets inside the 20 to about the 16-yard line. Ryan Andrews making the tackle for Chattanooga.
Mock defense did a good job of stringing it east-west. And the Eagles working without a huddle here, Randy.
27 seconds. Chaz Williams rolling to his left, throwing incomplete. That will stop the clock. It'll be third down at about 5.5 for Georgia Southern.
Chaz looking over to the side, trying to figure out what the play will be next. And with 22 seconds, I'm sure Georgia Southern would like to get another score here before they go into the locker room at halftime. Feeling like maybe they could get more and more players into the game, get some more repetitions for everybody on the squad.
30-3, Georgia Southern with the lead with 22 ticks left in the first half. Chaz Williams back to throw on 3rd and 6. Throws back to the right. And that's going to be a touchdown.
As soon as the catch was made, Paul Collins, the right tackle, was out there, made a great seal block, and all he had to do was turn it up and go for the 6.
Teddy Kraft, who started this for Georgia Southern by returning the punt a moment ago, catches the touchdown and danced into the end zone untouched.
Chaz selling it with the sprint left, throwing back to Kraft. Collins making the seal block to the outside. It's just like it was on the chalkboard.
So Georgia Southern takes 1 minute and 9 seconds to score. The extra point is good. And with 14 seconds to go in the first half, it's 37-3 Georgia Southern.
Teddy Kraft very happy that he got a chance. They interviewed Teddy this weekend. And somebody asked him about the passing game for the run-oriented Georgia Southern. He says, we practice the pass every day in practice. We just don't practice it publicly.
Well, they're a good passing football team. If you stop their run, they can beat you with the pass. But no one has been able to stop the run yet, even Georgia.
No. And it was Georgia's defense, both their first and second team defense, that tried to stop, and the offense had them befuddled for a good bit of time. And he's not befuddled, he's frustrated.
Yep.
Rodney Allison. He knows he's got talented athletes. It's just a matter of putting those young minds and bodies in the right spots and letting them perform their genius. Chattanooga with a beautiful stadium that they play in here. That is not on campus or owned by the university, but a beautiful facility to recruit to. A great school in a great town of Chattanooga. This site, of course, where the 1AA championship game is played every year, and this town has embraced that championship, and fans love coming here.
Dudley kicks it off, a low kick. It'll bounce into the end zone and out against the wind. And it'll be 1st and 10 Chattanooga with 14 seconds to go. So if you're the Mocs, do you try to run a couple of plays, or you just take a knee and regroup?
Well, the way things have been going today, maybe you try one play and see what you can do with it, because the little dump pattern has worked. It's been open. The patterns to the outside, to the sideline patterns, they've been open. So you might be able to work it down, at least have a couple of pass plays anyway.
Cedric Stevens at quarterback for Chattanooga with 14 seconds. Half. There's the draw play. Ronnie Davis still on his feet, has the very close to a first down. And with 5 seconds, it's going to roll completely on out. So that's going to do it for the first half. A great first half for Georgia Southern. A near disaster for Chattanooga. 37-3. The Eagles with the lead at halftime here at Finley Stadium. And we'll be back with more halftime activities from Finley Stadium in Chattanooga, Tennessee, with Georgia Southern in front 37-3. We'll be right back. From Finley Stadium for you for Southern Conference football. First of a doubleheader on CSS this afternoon.
When you look at this week, it's tough for both teams, but next week is no cakewalk either, as Chattanooga goes to Wofford, and Georgia Southern will be at home against Elon. And the schedule doesn't get any easier, really, for either team. And certainly with the job that Chattanooga is done here in the first half, hopefully they can capitalize on that here in the second half. They will get the second half kickoff here.
Southern Conference is the only 1AA conference with 3 teams in the top 10. Furman, Wofford, Georgia Southern.
No doubt. Wofford dropped to number 9 this week in the poll. They were up there, and when Georgia Southern defeated them last week, they dropped down to number 9. Georgia Southern at number 3. And Furman continues just to be very, very strong. That is probably the lead horse in that race for the Southern Conference title.
Mox will get the ball to start the second half of this game, as Georgia Southern has got an excellent opportunity now to play a lot of folks, rest a lot of people, look at some different people, and I think Rodney Allison's probably going to be doing the same thing for Chattanooga.
And probably so, and maybe that's the thing to do right now, is to try to get more of these young people some very good, valuable game time. It works out a lot better than practice time, but Georgia Southern fans were frustrated after last season's 7-4 record. Down in Statesboro, if the season doesn't last 15 games, Bubba, something's wrong, and now with these wins so far, everybody's saying, hey, Georgia Southern's back. How many teams would love to have that 7-4 record?
This one right here on the home field would love to have it.
Exactly. So Rodney Allison's frustrated. The fans are frustrated, hoping that it's going to all fall together pretty quick for the Mocs. And Georgia Southern fans are starting to feel better about their program now after a 7-4 year last year.
Chattanooga will receive Michael Gilmore and Levante Barber back deep to receive the kick from Georgia Southern.
And here in the third quarter, Georgia Southern is looking into that setting sun, and it will be at the Mocs' back, as you can see the shadows on the field. So when those receivers are looking back, they're looking into that sun now.
Jonathan Dudley will kick it off when we hear the whistle, and we just heard it. So Dudley will put the foot into the ball. He's kicking with a wind at his back. High end over ending its way down to the goal line, a yard deep in the end zone. This is Gilmore running to the left side. The Mocs try to set up a seal, gets away from one man, crosses the 20. Good return for Gilmore, and the Mocs with field position at their own 21.
Most special teams coaches say you can catch that in the end zone, but you better get to the 20. Otherwise, just let it go. And he did a good job of getting it out to the 20.
First down at 10. Cedric Stevens still in at quarterback. Lorani Davis opening at the running back spot. Those two have pretty much gone all the way for Chattanooga. We saw Kuzart earlier in the game for a play or two. Stevens rolling right. Pass caught at the 26. He stayed in bounds. The receiver, Quinto Iquazuma.
Nice extension by Iquazuma there to make the catch. Fully extended. Shows that talent that he has, and he'll be another good receiver here in another few games.
He was as a true freshman 3 years ago here. He broke his leg in an awful injury here against the Citadel.
Right.
In fact, they were saying that he would be lucky to ever walk again, but he's playing football. Lorani Davis, nothing there. Georgia Southern chasing the football out of bounds at the 25. It'll be 3rd and about 6 for Chattanooga.
Eric Hadley from the defensive tackle strings it out east-west. Here he comes right in there. Move the Barker Lounger, because here he comes. And then, boom, they get the tackle from behind. Brian in there helping him.
3rd down at 6. Actually, they say he lost a yard. It's 3rd and about 7.5. Cedric Stevens now. Stevens is sacked. No time whatsoever. Deshaun Jude nails Stevens back at the 13-yard line. So the Mocs are going to be 3 and out to start the second half.
If he were a base runner, the third base coach waved him all the way. He was on a dead sprint from that defensive end position to make that tackle.
Mocs punted away. Jonathan Wright will stand at the 5. High end over end into a stiff wind at the 38 for Georgia Southern. And great field position for the Eagles as they have the football to start inside the Mock 35-yard line. They'll start it at about the UTC 33, and with 13:07 to go here in the third quarter, Georgia Southern has a 37-3 lead over UT Chattanooga.
Jason Foster looking into the sun, and that ball doing crazy things up in that wind made the good catch and the advancement.
And with 13:07 to go in the third quarter, Chattanooga is trailing Georgia Southern 37-3. We're back right after this. They're at the Chattanooga 32. They got the Eagles with one wide receiver to the left side. Chaz Williams straight ahead. Handoff goes to Tim Gersitz, who has 1 touchdown today for the Eagles. Tim Powers makes the tackle for Chattanooga.
Nothing fancy about that play, just good straight ahead smash mouth football. I like to call that kind of a play, Randy, the setup play for this spread offense here.
Well, Mike Sewak is obviously content now with just 1 receiver, just to run out the clock as best he can. Chaz Williams straight ahead. And it's a first down at the 10-yard line. Gersitz again gets the carry. William High makes the tackle for Chattanooga.
The offensive line just really controlling it in the trenches here. You'll see straight ahead. Bounces to the outside as the hole was plugged. But the offensive line doing a great job of just controlling the tempo of this football game.
First down and 10. They mark it at the 12-yard line. Georgia Southern, if they need it, could get another first down before they reach the end zone. Chaz Williams sprints, dives to the 2. Depending on where they say a knee touched, he could have another first down. Brandon Ridgway makes the tackle for the Eagles.
Coming into this game, Georgia Southern was 17 of 17 inside the red zone. They've had very little trouble here today.
First down and goal to go. Georgia Southern at the Chattanooga 1.5-yard line. And they've done it with 1 receiver and everybody else pinched in tight. Williams keeps. Touchdown, Georgia Southern.
And a late flag comes in. A little pushing, a little frustration going on now. Tim Gersitz was the man leading him through the hole. Flag laying there in the end zone. They'll talk it over.
Well, I know Rodney Allison is going to be glad to get to the portion of the schedule where you're not facing a nationally ranked team every week. Going to be the case again next week at Wofford, but after that, the first 4 games for Chattanooga, they play at Tennessee Tech, home against Elon, and at Western Carolina before they tackle Appalachian State, who may or may not be in the top 25.
They've been hanging around and hanging around, and that will be the last game in November, Appalachian State. Rodney talking upstairs to the guys in the booth.
I hope somebody's listening to him.
I'm sure somebody is, probably getting an earful too.
Well, the officials are trying to sort out the penalties. We saw 1 fly, and then we saw a little scrum, and then we saw another. So we obviously have 2 penalties, and we're trying to sort it out.
And in all of that, let's not forget Georgia Southern got into the end zone again.
On the play, the touchdown was good. After the play, offsetting fouls, personal foul, grabbing the face mask on the defense, number 88. Dead ball foul, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 86. Those fouls will offset, and the extra point will be attempted from the 3-yard line.
Offsetting penalties, Reggie McCutcheon and Troy Blackwell, the 2 players involved in the little altercation. Mike Sewak, what's he frustrated over?
My guy was just defending the guy that got his face mask pulled. What are you calling on him for?
So they kick the extra point. It's good by Dudley. And with that, it's 44-3 in favor of Georgia Southern. That's with 11:48 to go in the 3rd quarter. You're watching college football on CSS, your source for Southeast sports.
You need that?
Nice work this morning, Ken.
It's now 44-3. Georgia Southern scores on the Eagles' first possession of the second half after the Mocs were 3 and out. So Georgia Southern's going to kick off for the second time this quarter, and we still have 11:40 to go in the 3rd.
Again, they've got the wind behind them. At times it might be a swirling wind behind them and from their right.
Michael Gilmore, about 3 yards deep, comes up, takes it at the goal line. Cuts to his left, back up the middle. Big seam, still on his feet. Good return by Gilmore to the 37, or the 33 rather. And good field position on a great return by Gilmore. Jonathan Dudley, the place kicker, made the tackle.
As you see, Gertz leads him into the hole, and Chaz Williams gets in there. And then For those of you who like rugby, there's the good old-fashioned scrum, the extracurricular activity that takes place. Again, leading him into the hole. Gertz opens it up. Chaz gets in there. Whoops, gets pulled backwards. And then a couple of guys say, hey, wait a minute, that's Chaz, don't do that. And then the next thing you know is say, hey, how you doing? Hadn't seen you all game. Where you been?
First down, Cedric Stevens in at quarterback still for Chattanooga. Ronnie Davis, nothing doing. Loss of 2 on the play.
Coming in strong and hard, Sherrod Taylor, the defensive tackle, in there to make that tackle. 6'2", 270, he got all of that.
They will give him the line of scrimmage, so it's second down and 10 now. Cedric Stevens calling the plays. The Mocs have pretty much gone without a huddle all day. Four-man rush for Georgia Southern. Dumps a little screen. Kuzart back to the line of scrimmage, maybe. A.J. Bryant makes the tackle. It'll be 3rd and long for Chattanooga.
Didn't get a lot of yardage on that, but that's a screen play that they had tried earlier that was a poorly thrown ball and ended up in an incomplete pass. Again, no huddle.
3rd down and 10. Cedric Stevens is going to keep it. Makes a juke, crosses the 40. He's going to be stopped shy of the first down. It'll be 4th and about 3. And it'll be time to punt once again for Chattanooga.
Good job for Cedric Stevens. Everybody was covered, and he saw that, and then he just tucked the ball and ran with it. Did a good job. Nice try to put a shake and bake on there. Didn't fool Fernando Phillips, the right cornerback for Georgia Southern. He made the tackle.
Punting is Jonathan Wright. Gets a much better kick this time. Taken by Teddy Kraft at the 15. Turns the corner. Knocked out of bounds at the 30. And with that, Georgia Southern will put it in play. First down and 10 at the 30-yard line. A 43-yard kick by Jonathan Wright. I think that's probably his best punt of the day for Chattanooga.
Into the win, and the Georgia Southern kick return specialist looking up directly into that sun. So a good job there. Good punt and good coverage. Didn't allow too much of a return.
Wright's longest punt today is 48 yards. That one a little less than that, but it was against the wind.
By the way, that was Mike Seawalk's happy look.
Oh, that's what that was?
His happy look, yeah.
New quarterback Trey Hunter with a keeper has the first down and then some. Crosses midfield down inside the Chattanooga 45-yard line. Randy Kraft makes the tackle for Chattanooga, but not before the new quarterback Trey Hunter gets a big chunk of yards, 26 to be exact.
Randy, you may remember Trey Hunter came in for the injured Chaz Williams last year, and he came off the bench, scored 3 touchdowns, got 147 yards passing, and rushed himself for 64 yards.
First down, Georgia Southern at the Chattanooga 42-yard line.
Those are his season stats.
Pretty good season.
Not bad, 6 of 6.
Back to throw, pass deflected and picked off. The Mocs get their second interception of the day. William High, who already has a couple of really nice defensive plays, gets the pick, and the Mocs take over at the 40-yard line.
You come in tall, you put the hands up, and boom. You get the reception. Good job, good reaction, too, on turning back to make the catch. Now the Mocs got to take this and turn it into a positive. 62 yards away from their end zone.
Antonio Miller's in the game, the true freshman from Charlotte, rated as the number 16 dual threat quarterback in the country. He gets his first snaps against Georgia Southern.
Southern Conference Freshman of the Week a couple of weeks ago.
Inside handoff, Ronnie Davis crosses the 40, got a couple of yards. It'll be second down for the Mocs as they take advantage of their second pass interception of the day.
I think Rodney Allison, as you said, as we came back from halftime, now probably going to get a lot of the younger players in to get them the game experience playing against the number 3 team in the country.
Miller, the quarterback. Single setback is Leronnie Davis. There's the play action. Miller dumps it out on the right. Caught. Pass is caught by the Mocs. That's number 80. Emmanuel Hassel. And he's shoved out of bounds by Shannon Higdon of Georgia Southern.
Gotta like the what you're seeing here. Nice sprint right. Makes a good reception. Comes down in bounds. Turns back to the inside. Trying to get some extra yards.
Third down and about 5 for the Mocs. A little less than 5, really. Antonio Miller out of the shotgun now for the Mocs. Coming on a corner blitz, and the corner's got him inside the 40.
Nothing doing there. Shannon Higdon, the sophomore, came from the corner. Excuse me, it looks like Rutledge. Rutledge was the one that came from the corner. There's Higdon.
Nobody picked him up.
Coming from the outside, Shannon Higdon. He and Rutledge both met at the same point. It just happened to be the quarterback.
Fourth down, Chattanooga. They're forced to punt for the 3rd time in this quarter. Jonathan Wright with a low kick. Picked up by Kraft at the 22 and snowed under right there. So Georgia Southern gets the football back with 7:06 to go in the 3rd. Georgia Southern leads it 44-3. We'll be back after this.
At the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga,
Well, you can see there's a pretty stiff breeze blowing here at Finley Stadium, and Georgia Southern has ridden it to a 44-3 advantage over Chattanooga, and we still have 7 minutes or better to go in the 3rd quarter. Trey Hunter in at quarterback again for Georgia Southern. Inside handoff on the dive. Gersitz. Brandon Ridgway makes the tackle for Chattanooga after a gain of a couple of yards.
Brandon, a freshman, just wrapped Gersitz up there in the middle. Not much gain, couple of yards, and that's about it. We talked about Georgia Southern's high-powered offense, and they score often and early.
Trey Hunter, pitch back, and the Mocs have it discovered for a loss. Donis Bucci back there on the ball carrier, Lynon Jefferson.
Donis Bucci, I think when they sit down and grade this film, he's going to grade out very high for the defense of Chattanooga. He's played very well today. His heart is definitely in this ball game.
He's another transfer that came in for a senior season. And a half for Georgia Southern. Trey Hunter, play action, rolling to his right. Being pressured, throws it downfield, got a man there, incomplete. Pass was intended for Reggie McCutcheon, number 86. And he had his man beaten by about 5 yards. Here's a look.
He sprints, throws across. Teddy Kraft fully extended, but no. Here's another. Look at him go. Couldn't get it.
So the Mocs have forced Georgia Southern to punt for the 3rd time today, which is good. Looking at how many times they've had to punt all year. That's actually more than Georgia forced them to punt.
There are definitely some positives coming out of this for the Mock defense.
Dudley gets it away. Tyrus Ward is going to fumble the football. And Georgia Southern's going to recover it at the 33-yard line.
Boy, that ball just short hopped him, and that's one where somebody on the field should be screaming fire, 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 which means get away from it and let it roll. But it just short hops him and hits him right in the chest, and then it gets kicked around, and Georgia Southern covers it.
44-yard punt, and it's recovered by the Georgia Southern Eagles' Dusty Reddick.
Dusty Reddick, a National Scholarship Foundation from the Football Federation winner. He's one of 4 young men across the country that will be honored December the 7th in New York City. Dusty out of Sylvania, Georgia.
Trey Hunter for Georgia Southern. Man in motion. They pitch to him. That's Lynon Jefferson. Out of bounds inside the 30. Shoved out by Greg McConaughey, who's back in the game for Chattanooga.
Jefferson showing the speed. They had him from behind, and he just kind of turned on the afterburners.
That is a gain of about 6. So it'll be second down and 3.
William High, good pursuit on that one, chasing him to the boundaries.
2 receivers, 1 right, 1 left for Georgia Southern. Inside handoff to Gersitz. He gets to the 25. He's not going to get the first down, but he does get a couple of tough yards ahead. Tim Powers among the Mocs making the tackle.
Trying to rip that ball out of his hand. Gersitz did a good job of hanging on to it. Clock running. Georgia Southern just keep the chains moving. They're in that sandy part of the field. You can see the sand there in the shadows.
Third down, about 1.5 yards. Gersitz, first down, inside the 20, brought down to the 17-yard line. Greg McConaughey jumped on Gersitz back and drove him down. First down, Georgia Southern.
The offensive line, the right guard, right tackle over there, just sealing the deal. The double team got him into the open and took 2 of the Mocs to drag him down.
And we have a timeout to look at the clock. We may have a problem with the clock again.
The officials asking to run the clock. Now they are getting it going.
First down, Georgia Southern, and a penalty marker. This will be a legal procedure against Georgia Southern as the new tailback in the game, Lennon Jefferson. I've called his name 3 different things today. I don't think I'm right yet. I think it's Lennon.
Offense, number 71.
If it isn't, we apologize.
5-yard penalty. Still first down.
First down and 15 now for Georgia Southern. They'll back the football up to about the 24.5.
Again, you saw that sandy footing down there, and that caused fullback to slip a little bit. Mocs walking people up on defense.
Pitch back. Whoa, good stick. McConaughey laid the wood that time to the running back.
Somebody call the auto repair shop. That boy needs some body work after that hit. Nice pitch there, and right here, takes him off his feet.
Great tackle.
Yes, just the way you want.
Marquise Maynard seeing stars when he got up. Gain of about 2 after the tremendous tackle by McConaughey. So now it's second down and 13. Trey Hunter and a quarterback. Chaz Williams is finished for the day, and he's going to be drugged down at the 20. Making the tackle, Jimmy Mitchell for Chattanooga, and that'll bring up a third down at about 11.
Trey Hunter, the senior, played in this game last year when Chaz Williams got hurt, came in and led the team to a victory.
Third down and 11 for Georgia Southern. Trey Hunter. Long count, flips it back. It's going to be fourth down, but Georgia Southern will have the option of kicking a field goal or trying to go for it. They're 2 out of 2 or 3 out of 3 today. I can't remember on their fourth down conversions. Going into the game today, they were 6 of 6 in their first 3 games of the year.
So it is fourth down. And they're going to try to go for it.
Jermaine Austin's through for the day too. Gersitz has gone most of the way at tailback. Also Jefferson and Marquise Maynard. Trey Hunter, fourth down, going for it. Pass is caught inside the 10. And that will be a first down depending upon where they spot it. And I believe it is a first down.
Watch as they roll to the left side of your screen. Look at the block that took 2 defenders out, and a nice rolling catch there, throwing it low where the defender can't get to it, and a nice diving catch.
First down and goal at the 8.5-yard line. Georgia Southern knocking on the door again with 2:06 to go in the third quarter. Trey Hunter stopped inside the 10, maybe got a yard. That's it. Tim Powers getting up off the bottom of the pile for Chattanooga.
Georgia Southern's having phenomenal success on 4th down when they go for it. They were 4 for 4 in that situation against the University of Georgia. So they have been very successful here today.
Second down, Trey Hunter. And that's going to be a touchdown for Georgia Southern. Around the right side, that's number 33 for the Eagles. And we're really running in the running backs. Bryce Carter.
Going deep
fullback
into the lineup. Bryce Carter, a sophomore fullback, gets in for the score.
So with still 1:25 to go in the third, it's 50-3 Georgia Southern. And the extra point is good. 51-3 your score. Georgia Southern putting a real whipping on Chattanooga today here at Finley Stadium, and we still have the fourth quarter and 1:25 of the third left.
The Mocs, I know, are very frustrated. The defense is just shaking their heads and scratching their heads, but 58 points last week scored on the defending Southern Conference champion Wofford by Georgia Southern.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, the 51 points here now, that you don't want to give those up, but you're not the first that's done it. So the Eagles offense, with their speed, with the perfection of which they run that spread offense, the depth that they have, I guess the Georgia Southern fans are right. This team might be back. It might be back in Chattanooga come December.
Oh, yeah. I've seen Georgia Southern play ever since they started their football program, and this is as good a team as I've seen.
And still, Mike Seawalk talking with Hunter, the backup quarterback.
Michael Gilmore and Levante Barber will be back deep to receive the kick for Georgia Southern. And Georgia Southern gets set to kick it off. Dudley's kick is going to be taken at the goal line by Gilmore. Gilmore up the middle. Breaks away from one. Penalty marker on the play as Gilmore crosses the 25. I would say that'll be a block in the back or a hold. We'll have to see how that turns out.
Nice return, though, by him as he was weaving his way through the defenders, but the flag sits at the 21. And from where that flag is on the field, you have to believe it probably was a block in the back.
Well, North Carolina State knocked off Virginia Tech in Blacksburg today, 17-16. Louisville leading, actually Louisville beat North Carolina at Chapel Hill 34-0. How good is this Louisville team?
Wow, they must be good. Elon, who is the opponent for Georgia Southern next week, loses to North Carolina A&T at North Carolina A&T 19-17 today.
During the return, illegal block in the back on the return team, number 24. The penalty at 10 yards, the spot of the foul. Chattanooga's ball, first down.
Tough break for the Mocs because what could have been good field position now back to the 10.
Antonio Miller is still in at quarterback. Well, I would imagine we've seen all of Cedric Stevens. We'll see today, but I would imagine he'll still be the starter next week at Wofford for Chattanooga. Running back for the Mocs, Lorani Davis gets a couple. That's it.
Trying to sprint to the outside there, but Sherrod Taylor was the one that corralled him in. Rod Taylor from the defensive tackle position.
Under a minute to go in the third. Davis is the lone setback for Antonio Miller. Miller keeps it around the left side, steps out of bounds near the 20. He's going to be shy of the first down, but not much. We'll see where they say he went out.
You know, we've talked about what a great town Chattanooga is, and certainly it's the site for the 1AA National Championship. Also this season, this basketball season, will be the site for the Southern Conference basketball tournament to be played here. And we all know that Westmore's Lady Mocs are incredibly, I guess, high ranked this season, especially in the preseason.
Yeah, ranked 16th in one poll. Athlon's has them at 23. Miller gets away from one man, keeps it, spins out, crosses the 20, penalty marker down, back near the 10-yard line. So we'll have to see what this is all about.
A late flag way away from the ball, but holding is the call. If you're Rodney Allison, you got to be wondering just how many more wheels are going to fall off this wagon today.
Justin Matherson, number 71, sophomore, who from right here in Chattanooga, played at Ooltewah High School, is guilty of the hold, I think, if that's what the call is.
They did signal a preliminary signal of a hold.
Holding. Offense, number 71. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Still third down.
So third down for the Mocs.
We're under 30 seconds to go in the third quarter. Antonio Miller. The draw play. Nothing doing. Lorani Davis stopped for a loss of about 3. Eric White makes the tackle for Georgia Southern.
Comes from that weak side linebacker spot from the offensive line's left side and just comes streaking through there and makes the tackle as the quarter comes to an end.
And with that, we'll start the fourth quarter in a couple of minutes. We'll take a break. Georgia Southern in front fairly comfortably, 51-3. Their score. We'll be back after this. Mocs have the punting team on as we start the fourth quarter. It's fourth down and about 13. Standing in the end zone. A good snap, a bobble, but a good kick away. It's fairly short by Jonathan Wright. Taken at the 40. Still on his feet. Around the left side. And a nice tackle by number 87 of the Mocs. That's Barrett Brightwell, who fought off a blocker and just really caught up with the punt returner. That's Kraft for Georgia Southern. Nice job by Barrett Brightwell.
Did a good job, and Kraft just kept running, and they kept stringing him out sideline to sideline. And Kraft loves to run with that football, whether he's catching it or if he's returning it. Look at the third quarter stats. 17 first downs for Georgia Southern, just 7 for the Mocs. Look at the time of possession, very close. Both teams now with 4 penalties.
Trey Hunter gives to Gersitz right up the middle. Inside the 40, Gersitz goes. Gain of a couple. Actually, they say it gave him 2 inside the 40-yard line.
Lots of new numbers and clean white jerseys in the game now for Georgia Southern, trying to get some young players some experience.
Second down, 8. Hunter, the keep, the pitch. Nice job. Good tackle by the Mocs. Number 21, Jason Jones, who 2 years ago was a receiver for the Mocs. Here's a look. And this is our player of the game. As a presenting sponsor of today's telecast, BB&T is going to make a donation on behalf of that young man. That would be Jermaine Austin to the General Scholarship Fund of the Southern Conference. At the end of the year, the fund will be distributed among the football playing members in the Southern Conference. So Jermaine Austin, our player of the game, sponsored by BB&T. Third down, about 6. Hunter, quick pitch. Kraft inside the 40 to about the 35. He's going to be shy of the first down. It'll be 4th down and 2 for Georgia Southern. The Eagles are 8 of 8 on the year, 3 of 3 in this game in 4th down conversions. So let's see if they go for it again here at the 35. It's 4th and about 2.
Jermaine Austin, the player of the game, also reached a milestone over 3,000 yards career rushing now.
And he's still just a junior. He's got the rest of this year and all of next year.
Georgia Southern has compiled a 75-1 record when they lead after 3 quarters, all the way back to 1997.
Fumble. Mocs pick it up. They get it, and finally Georgia Southern did not convert a 4th down conversion. The fumble was picked up by Wilford Blow, a freshman from Hickson High School right here in Chattanooga, and the Mocs get good field position now at their own 42-yard line.
For their own confidence now, you'd like to see him take this and make something out of it. The handoff, the ball pops loose, it's on the ground, and the blue and gold cover it up.
Wilford Blow picked it up, ran a couple of yards, and gives the Mocs good field position. Antonio Miller, the quarterback. Pitch back to Lorani Davis. The big freshman inside the 40, or outside the 40 to about the 43. A gain of a yard, and that's about it. Shannon Williams, number 99, makes the tackle for Georgia Southern. Mocs going without a huddle. 12-17 to go in the game. Georgia Southern jumps. Mocs going to get a free play. They throw it up. It's going to be caught. We got pass interference on one end, probably against Georgia Southern. We've got offsides against Georgia Southern for the other. So they'll give the Mocs their choice of penalties right here, I think.
And the officials will have a board meeting and decide just exactly what happened and when. Didn't take long getting all the input from the various folks who were positioning around the field and saw things happen. Sometimes it's frustrating when they take so long, but to their credit, they get all the information they can.
Well, they got to sort this out.
Right.
I think both fouls are on Georgia Southern. Now the Mocs are talking about which one they take. One's a 5-yard penalty, the other's 15 yards. So obviously they'll probably take the pass interference call.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Offsides on the defense. Penalty is declined. Pass interference, defense number 16. That penalty is accepted. 15-yard penalty and an automatic first foul.
There's the offside. You see him jump off, and then that gave the Mocs a free play. Antonio Miller throwing it up for grabs for Emmanuel Hassel.
Put in the air under that one, let him run underneath it, and too much contact there. There's the push with the right hand and the pass interference.
So the 15-yard penalty helps Chattanooga as we go inside the Georgia Southern 45 down to the Eagle 42.
There's a stat right there that Mike Seawalk won't be happy with. 4 penalties, 55 yards for Georgia Southern.
Miller faking, rolling to his right, keeping inside the 40. Good block, out of bounds at the 35. He's going to be shy of the first down, but not much. Pickup of about 8 by Antonio Miller.
What a nice play by Miller. And the defense was going the other direction, and he showed that speed as he sprints for the corner. Nice blocking, too. And out of bounds he goes, stops the clock, 12:02.
The Mocs have gotten an example of great speed and athleticism at quarterback that they haven't had in a long time here. Inside, the handoff to Levante Barber, the freshman from nearby Cleveland, Tennessee, takes it inside the 35, is really close to the first down.
And certainly it appears that they've got some good running backs. They just have to try to get them into the flow of the offense and get those running plays to work for them, and then they will be a double threat with both the passing game and the running game.
Again, the Mocs going without a huddle, 11.5 minutes to go. Georgia Southern's got the game in hand, but the Mocs are trying to iron out some problems. They'll pitch it back to Levante Barber. He takes it inside the 30, gets another 5, maybe 6 yards.
Left side of the offensive line for the Mocs doing a good job. Early in the game, we saw the offensive line control on the slants, and they were doing a good job of controlling the offensive line and springing some folks and doing a good job of protection as well.
Antonio Miller, Nana quarterback. He's been in since the middle of the 3rd quarter, which seems like eons ago. Kuzart, first down, inside the 20.
Nice speed, but he looked like he was running on the beach in all that sand. Couldn't quite get the traction going. You can see him having to take almost twice as many steps right there in that sand, but he cuts back against the grain. Nice running job there. You know, Randy, with the 51 points on the board for Georgia Southern, you think, wow, that's an awful lot. They've been averaging 56.7 points a game.
Well, there's still 10 and a half minutes to go.
Little below their average right now.
Mocs trying to knock one in before the end of the game. Antonio Miller. Option to the 15. Gets the first down. Picked up about 3, maybe 4 yards. And it'll be a first down for Chattanooga. This has probably been their most impressive drive since that one that ended in the field goal in the first half.
And great job by him in running and keeping the ball and not pitching it and making a good decision on the read.
First down, Chattanooga. The line of scrimmage, the Georgia Southern 15-yard line. Actually, the 16 is Miller. Takes the snap, hands it off to the tailback, gets a couple of yards inside the 15. Big pile unstacks. That's Kuzart. Getting some action now. Ronnie Davis started the game at running back for Chattanooga, played most of the first half and most of the 3rd quarter. Kuzart's in there now. Levante Barber, another freshman for Chattanooga, in there for the game. Miller with a play action, rolling right, keeps it to the 10. Miller to the 5, inside the 5, down to the 2-yard line.
Nice run by Miller. Just not afraid of the contact. Made the turn, made the corner. Good read. Kept it and just kept going toward the goal line. Had the defenders turned around the other way. Good job there.
First down and goal, Chattanooga at their own 1-yard line.
A.J. Bryant will make the tackle to save the touchdown.
First and goal. Mocs with 4 downs to knock it in from about 1.5 yards away. Miller hands off, leaping into the end zone. Did he get in?
No signal yet.
Kuzart leaped high over the pile, came down on the goal line. It'll be 2nd and goal.
If he didn't get in, he's the next door neighbor.
Here's a look.
Nice leap. Big pile up there. They were looking for the leap.
Mocs trying to line it up and run it right at him. Now, how about a bootleg play right here, Coach?
Sure, why not? He's got the speed. You got to like the way Miller runs.
Straight ahead. Kuzart, did he get in? No signal yet. Nope, did not get in.
Wow.
They say a knee may have hit just shy of the goal line. Yep.
Yep.
Good tackle.
Dragging him down, Tariq Muhammad. Making that knee touch.
Close.
That is.
3rd and goal.
I have to wipe the chalk dust off the nose of the football. It's so close. They're packing it in.
Miller offsides. I think Chattanooga or Georgia Southern may have jumped. We'll see. They throw the penalty marker down.
Flags from both sides of the line there. And he has to be. They're piling him, unpiling there at the goal line. I think it depends who the penalty is on. It must be on Georgia Southern from the way the Eagles are reacting.
Number 97 on the defense, lining up in the neutral zone.
Yep.
The penalty is half the distance. Replay, third down.
Well, that would be about a 2-inch penalty right there.
I'm going to say half of a paperclip is what? That's about how far they are.
Well, you can't really look at that. Man, it's still third and no, it's 4th and goal. No, it's third down. They changed the marker, but now they changed it back. Miller sneaks it.
No sign.
Well, they got to let him unstack.
Still no sign.
Georgia Southern says no. 4th down.
The mock bench was saying it had to be good.
Fourth down and goal. They're not going to kick a field goal. That would do them no good. Of course, the touchdown, as far as the scoreboard goes, is not going to do them any good. Look at the...
Going right between the center and the left guard. I mean, if he was any closer...
Antonio Miller hands it straight ahead. Touchdown, Chattanooga.
No doubt there.
Ronnie Davis gets the call and gets the 2-inch touchdown run.
Well, they say a miss is as good as a mile, so the 2 inches is as good as a 1-yard touchdown.
Well, Ronnie Davis puts the Mocs on the board as he scores, and it's a 51-9 Georgia Southern lead. And we still have 6:51 to be played in the game. It was a warm day, but as the sun's going down now, Ted, it's getting a little cool.
Getting on the nippy side, and flags fly. Somebody moved in the offensive line, and the defense came crashing across. We talked about Georgia Southern's average of 56.7 points a game. They've been allowing their opponents 21.7 points.
Sides, defense, number 99. The penalty is declined.
Well, offsides against Georgia Southern. The Mocs are going to kick the extra point, try to make it 51-10.
Eagles were faced with a penalty when they were about to attempt an extra point. They also declined it earlier in the game.
Jonathan Godfrey nails it. And with that, we'll take a timeout with 6:51 to go. Georgia Southern with a 51-10 lead. You're watching college football on CSS, your source for Southeast sports. Well, the lights are on at Finley Stadium. The Mocs are on the scoreboard. Of course, they had a field goal, but their first touchdown comes with 6:51 to go in the game. It's 51-10 Georgia Southern.
And when you're looking to build on as many positives as Rodney Allison is right now, that's a good one to start with.
Mocs going to kick off. High, short kick taken by one of the up backs. Taken at the 23, still on his feet. Crosses the 40. And that was number 81 for Georgia Southern.
Johnny Loss.
Right.
A freshman, a redshirt freshman. Getting his chance to get into the game and his name in the record book.
Line of scrimmage is the 40, just shy of the 45, between the 44 and the 45-yard line. Trey Hunter at quarterback for Georgia Southern. And Loss, who just returned that kick, is in the game at wide receiver. Penalty marker as Hunter takes the snap, runs left, and might be either offsides or a procedure penalty against Georgia Southern.
Prior to the snap, all start. Still first down.
First and 15 now as we back it up to just inside the 40 after the false start for Georgia Southern. Clock moving, 6.5 minutes, a little over that to go in the game. Trey Hunter, first down and 15 for Georgia Southern. He's going to roll right, keeps it to the 45. Got back to the original line of scrimmage. It'll be second down and about 10 yards to go for the Eagles. Randy Kraft makes the tackle for Chattanooga with 6:20 to go.
Steve Steele, Jr., made a good block out there to add to the yardage.
Memphis Tigers taking on the UAB Blazers. That's a big Conference USA game. It's next here on CSS. Stay with us for that one. Trey Hunter dives to midfield. Picks up about 4. It'll be 3rd down and 5, maybe 4. 3rd down and 4 for Georgia Southern.
Well, if you're Georgia Southern, you want to keep the clock moving. You want to keep the chains moving. And just try to expedite things here a little bit. For the Mocs, certainly they want to make a defensive stop, build on the positive of their scoring drive. That way they can take something out of this game and build upon it. And that's what it takes when you're trying to change the direction of a program.
3rd down and 4. Georgia Southern just inside the midfield stripe. The dive. In at fullback now, or the running back for Georgia Southern. Number 39. Lance Turner. Sophomore from Alpharetta, Georgia. Got the first down as they mark it at the 45-yard line.
And we are just closing in on the 5-minute mark left in this ball game. Eagles keeping the chains and the clock rolling.
Rolling right, Trey Hunter snowed under at the 47, 48-yard line. Gain of about 2, and the clock is rolling and nobody's complaining. Jimmy Mitchell makes the tackle for Chattanooga. Only one complaining is our producer, who says, well, we got to get 2 more breaks in.
I understand that. Well, you got to do what you got to do. You know, got to pay the bills. We understand.
2nd down, about 9 for Georgia Southern at the Chattanooga 43.5-yard line.
Things don't get any easier for Chattanooga. Next week, another nationally ranked team in Wofford. And the Eagles are at home against Elon.
Hunter, quick pitch. 1st down. Running back breaks away. That's number 15, Darius Smiley, and he scores for Georgia Southern. Penalty marker's going to bring it back, though, at the 35-yard line.
He did a good job of getting open, but somebody kind of helped him.
Right. Might be against Chattanooga. They're talking about a possible face mask. Chattanooga's pointing toward Georgia Southern.
Well, they had him turned around and spun him around kind of quickly. See what the call is.
During the run, illegal block in the back on the offense, number 86. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. 2nd down.
They bring it back. Blocking in the back against Georgia Southern.
Happened on the perimeter. There you see him cut to the outside, and there's the block in the back. That hurts. Nice pitch, though. He was in great pitch phase. Good juke there, but the block in the back kind of helped, and then he broke loose from that would-be tackler.
So that we back it up to the 45, it's 2nd down and 10 now for Georgia Southern as the clock stands at 3:56 to go. 505 total yards for Georgia Southern, 157 for Chattanooga. That pretty much tells you about the ball game. Timeout, 3:56 to go. Georgia Southern with a 51-10 lead. You're watching college football on CSS, your source for Southeast sports.
On demand.
3:56 to go. Georgia Southern is ranked 2nd in both 1A and 1AA for rushing, 384 yards per game.
Not a bad stat.
They have 371 today. That's less than their average.
That's Darius Smiley again on the carry. And Randy, he is really a backup quarterback to Hunter and Williams, but he's such a great athlete, they had to find a way to work him into the mix somehow, so they use him at a running back.
Gain of about 2. It'll be 3rd down and 8 for Georgia Southern at the Chattanooga 43-yard line. 3:26. Clock is moving. It can't move fast enough for Rodney Allison. Trey Hunter, protection, throwing it deep. Had a man, good defense. No flag intended for Johnny Los at wide receiver. Jason Jones was back defending.
You cannot ask for a better defensive play than that right there.
Right.
It hits, it bounces, and he slaps it away. Good job. You know, we were talking about it. Things don't get any easier for Chattanooga as they play Wofford next week, but history tells us that Chattanooga at Wofford always is a close game.
Yeah, 2 years ago they went into overtime. Wofford beat them as part of that 9-game losing streak to start the year, or at one time for Chattanooga they lost 9 in a row. But they played pretty well. Chattanooga lost in that 9-game losing streak 2 years ago, lost 2 games in overtime. Wofford was one of them. Los drops the pass on 4th down. So the Mocs will take over as they stop Georgia Southern for the 3rd time today on 4th down conversions. And with that, we'll take a timeout. 3:04 to go. Georgia Southern comfortably in front, 51-10 over Chattanooga. We're back after this.
Sundays mean family dinner at Nana's house. She loves cooking. We love eating. We all love shopping at Food Lion. They've got the freshest meats, fruits, and vegetables you'll find anywhere. With lots of groceries, all at extra low prices. We saved up enough for a surprise visit from the new man in Nana's life. He's short, but cute.
The dog is now in Savannah. Bulldogs. Bulldogs on West Montgomery Crossroads across from Kmart. Bulldogs has all things red and black, from the finest in polos such as Cutter and Buck, to a variety of t-shirts and caps, car tags and magnets, items for your tailgating needs, collectibles, and a great selection of ladies' apparel. Why wait until you go to Athens when Athens is right here in Savannah? That's Bulldogs, West Montgomery Crossroads, across from Kmart. Go Dogs!
It's the total used car clearance, including the repo show sale. This weekend only at Dan Faden Chevrolet in Savannah. Here's your chance to buy a variety of used cars, including vehicles bought from independent appraisers that
Southern Conference football on CSS has been brought to you by Carolina Ford, driving the Carolinas, by Food Lion, extra low prices, and by BB&T. You can tell we want your business. And as the sun sets in Chattanooga, Tennessee, a beautiful skyline, beautiful view here from Finley Stadium. Georgia Southern with a 41-point lead. Miller pass caught at the 45. Pass is caught by Tyrus Ward.
A.J. Bryant on the hit.
And a penalty marker dropped. Memphis and UAB. That could be fairly interesting.
It certainly could.
Conference USA in Birmingham.
UAB always plays well at home.
Memphis has had probably their best football team in recent memory. Coach Tommy West has done a great job in his 3rd year down there.
Follow the play.
They're going to wave it off.
Everything was legal. Results of the play, 1st down.
And that's why they take the time to talk about it.
Right. Under 3 minutes to go. Antonio Miller now will stop the clock. Now Seawalk is out on the field.
Timeout. Georgia Southern. Second charge in the second half.
Well, the guy's up 41 points.
Exactly the intensity on his face, Randy. He's wanting to know why certain things are called or not called. And I tell you what, that's the attitude you're seeing there. The intensity is exactly trickled down to his team, and they are very businesslike. And when they played Johnson C. Smith, they didn't take them lightly. They went after him. When they played Georgia, they went in there with every intention of trying to win that football game. Last week, the intensity on the sidelines against Wofford at home at Paulson Stadium, people said not since the early national championship years under Irk Russell had they seen that kind of intensity. So certainly this guy right here, his intent is to come back to this very field in December.
Well, as you said, they were 7-4 last year. And he may feel like he needs to be this intense.
That's right. He wants to make a statement.
Well,
and the fans seated across the way behind that Georgia Southern bench are giving him a hand. That's it, Coach. Thanks for fighting for us.
Right. Still not going to change their mind. It's first down, Chattanooga, 2:47 to go at the 45-yard line. Antonio Miller looks to the sideline.
Now calling the audible. But he better hurry. 7 on the play clock.
Miller takes the snap. First down, over the middle, caught inside the 25. Nice return. That time the pass caught by Emmanuel Hassel.
Nice job of pitch and catch here. He drops straight back, lets it go. Nice catch. He's got 2 defenders on him, but he still keeps those feet moving. Move the chains. Got the first down.
22 yards on the pass completion to Emmanuel Hassel from Antonio Miller. First down inside the Georgia Southern 25. Miller again throws it. Caught. Hassel at the 5. Inside the 5. It's first and goal, Chattanooga.
And for Georgia Southern, A.J. Bryant again makes a shoestring tackle and saves another score.
Well, Rodney Allison is going to have a big decision to make because Antonio Miller has guided him to 1 touchdown and could get him a second. He is a true freshman, and Cedric Stevens, who has played very well, is a senior. He's going to have to eventually make the decision. We got to play for the future, or do we play for this year?
Sometimes quarterbacks come off the bench and just jumpstart the team for who knows why. But he certainly is running this offense very well, making some smart reads and smart decisions.
Touchdown, Antonio Miller on a 4-yard run. And the Mocs trying to make it respectable, 51-16 now with 1:46 to go in the game.
I know Rodney's got a tough decision, but you got to look strong at Antonio Miller. Every game that he's come into this season, in this early season, he's played well in.
Extra point attempt coming up for Chattanooga by Jonathan Godfrey. And it's good. 1:46 to go in the game. 51-17 now. Mock scoring drive, 4 plays, 57 yards. And Antonio Miller scores it on a 5-yard touchdown run. Let's take another look.
Gets it. Nice read. Cuts back against the grain into the end zone. Good job out front, too, by the blockers. See him how they string it out, get the defense headed toward the sideline, and he just cuts it right back up the middle.
Mocs trailed 30-3 at the half, and it's now 21-14 for the second half. So
fairly even ball game here in the second half. And again, that's the kind of positive things that Rodney's going to take and break down on film and show them. Georgia Southern with a long huddle over there across the way, trying to figure out what they're going to do. And again, they've got a lot of new faces on this team, and they're trying to remind them what to do. Everybody in position.
1:46, that's the time remaining here in the ball game. And the Mocs will kick off. Back deep to receive for Georgia Southern. That's Roger King. And kicking off for the Mocs is Reed Klein. This is King. Seam up the middle. Finally brought down at the 35, and Georgia Southern will put it in play at that point.
Roger King, cornerback and return man, bounces to the outside. Put him in good field position. Minute 41 left in this one.
51-17 Georgia Southern, but they led 30-3 at the half, and as we mentioned, it's been a pretty even second half, 21-14. Those are the football rest just over the 35 as Trey Hunter puts it in play for Georgia Southern. Hunter, keeper, crosses the 40, couple of yards, and the clock moving with a minute and a half to go.
Nice shoestring tackle there. Looked like Tim Powers got a hand on the shoestrings and tripped him up.
Second down, about 3 after a 7-yard pickup. Hunter rolling left. First down, crosses midfield, stays in bounds. The clock will stop for the marking of the ball, but then it'll start as we go under the 1-minute mark to go in the game.
Tackle on the far sideline was made by Brandon Ridgway.
First down, Georgia Southern at the Chattanooga 48-yard line.
Chance of Georgia Southern rain from the visitor sideline.
Hunter, another first down inside the 35. Clock now with 37 seconds as they mark the football for play. Georgia Southern improves to 3-1. The Mocs dropped to 0-3 to start the season.
Memphis and at UAB coming up next. Might have to sit around and watch that.
I may have to hurry home.
Yeah.
18 seconds. Georgia Southern likely going to just take a knee right here, and they do, and that should do it.
In the victory formation, drops to the knee. And
Mike
another one.
Seawalk, there he goes, the winning coach. His team 3-1 with their only loss coming to Georgia. Final score, Georgia Southern 51, Chattanooga 17 this afternoon from Finley Stadium in Chattanooga. As the Georgia Southern Eagles look awfully impressive. Ted, enjoyed working with you.
Thank you. They might move up in the polls this week. Thank you, Randy.
So long, everybody.